I've been reading the transcripts of your interviews, and I understand why you're getting frustrated with these questions about defending Donald Trump. But what I don't understand, Governor, is why don't you say, I don't agree with what Donald Trump has said about Muslims and about the Mexican judge? Because before you were his nominee, Governor, you said that. You said Trump is wrong about categorically saying Muslims can't get in the country. Why not just own your own truth on those situations?
Well, first let me say I'm very humbled by the fact that your poll and some people think I won the debate. I'll leave that to others, but I really do think that whatever I was able to do the other night, that Donald Trump won the debate. Donald Trump's vision to make America great again won the debate, and I couldn't be more honored to have been at that table, to be articulating his vision, and to be drawing the contrast with the campaign of Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine that simply want to continue the policies that have weakened America's place in the world, set areas of the wider Middle East literally spinning apart, and have stifled the American economy in places like here in Pennsylvania. And so for me, I'm honored to stand shoulder to shoulder with him, and also honored to address those very same questions. I'm not frustrated at all about it, Chris. I mean, Donald Trump and I have been very, very clear about the issue of suspending immigration from countries that have been compromised by terrorism or some of these other issues.
But that's not where he
many in the media, not you. Well, it is.
Governor, but that's not what he
said.
What he said was
talked about putting the security of the American people first.
Right, but he has also said, Governor,
our
that
position
Muslims
is we're going to suspend immigration from countries compromised by terrorism.
But, Governor, that is a finessed position. We both know that where he started was saying there is a problem with Islam, that Muslims should be kept out of the country. You condemned those comments, and you did so strongly as the governor of Indiana when you were backing Ted Cruz. You said we can't say that. When he said what he said about Judge Curiel, not making it about the case, but about his ethnicity, you condemned those comments. Why do you not condemn them now?
Well, because it's not Donald Trump's position now. I mean, look, you've known him for a long time, Chris. I haven't known him that long at all. But what you see in Donald Trump is a man who has built an extraordinary business. You found out in the last week he faced some really hard times 20 years ago and led an incredible comeback to build a business that's created tens of thousands of jobs and now is worth billions of dollars. But in Donald Trump, you have someone that has been willing to speak his mind. He's spoken about the frustrations and the aspirations of the American people. And I'm proud to stand with him as he talks about ending illegal immigration once and for all and doing it when he becomes president. I'm proud to stand with him when he says that we need to suspend immigration from countries and territories that have been compromised by terrorism. I understand why you want to play the oldies. You want to talk about where the campaign began or what statements were made. But the American people are focused on the policies that Donald Trump is articulating every day across this country.
Right, but it's also about the person.
I think it's the reason why there's so much momentum in this movement, and people are being drawn to that vision. And for me to be able to share that vision, to share the choice at that table Tuesday night was one of the greatest honors of my life.
Except that, Governor, there is the policy, but there's also the person. And again, you don't like handling directly these questions of what he said. You can't argue that he's changed his position. That's fine. He's different now than where he started in immigration. And that's for the voters to decide how they feel about that change. But what he has said about women, about Mexicans, about Muslims matters. And I know that you have said you don't share those positions. And now, tacitly, you are accepting those positions because you won't speak out against them. Do you understand that?
Well, there's so much. I mean, it was remarkable the other night to sit next to Senator Kaine as he went through what was obviously kind of a memorized litany of personal insults against Donald Trump. And then he said we were running an insult-driven campaign. I mean, Hillary Clinton standing in front of wealthy donors there in New York just a couple weeks ago, said that half of Donald Trump and my supporters were a basket of deplorables, irredeemable, not America. And then she
and
called
the next
them
day
every
she said she
ism
went too
in the
far.
book.
And the next day she said she went too far. And you know that very
Chris,
unsavory,
Chris,
negative, and
said,
hateful components have attached themselves to the campaign.
Yeah. No, she said she was just wrong about half. She regretted saying half. So it wasn't, it's just an amazing thing. She insulted tens of millions of Americans. And Senator Kaine had nothing to say about that the other night other than to feign that she had apologized for it, which, of course, she never did. But look, all of this, I would submit to you, is not what the people here in Pennsylvania are focused about, or in Virginia, where I was yesterday morning, traveling around as I am on this bus tour. People are focused on national security, on public safety, on law and order, and on getting this economy moving again. The truth is, Hillary Clinton and Tim Kaine are running to essentially continue the failed policies of this administration that have weakened America's place in the world, stifled America's economy. And with all due respect, Chris, as much as the media likes to focus on taking these little lines out of context.
They're not little lines, though, Governor. That's the issue.
The American people are focused on their future.
You're going to be setting the tone as Vice President and President of the United States about how we respect each other, about who matters, and whether all of us matter the same way. And when somebody says things that exclude people and make them less than, it is the job of leadership to stand up against that. And I know you've done it in the past. That's why I'm asking you why you're not doing it now.
Well, it's because Donald Trump has made his positions very clear on illegal immigration, on suspending immigration from countries compromised by terrorism, and frankly, I understand why the other side wants to keep bringing up prior statements earlier in the campaign. Donald Trump has said in this campaign that he has regretted the times that he didn't choose his words well, particularly where it's created personal pain for people. He's spoken openly about that. But with Hillary Clinton, I go back to it, Chris, honestly. She said half of Donald Trump and my supporters were irredeemable, were a basket of deplorables. Chris, you can't lead people you loathe. And for Hillary Clinton to express that kind of contempt for millions of Americans, and I'd throw in recently Bernie Sanders supporters. We found out in February she accused Bernie Sanders supporters of being children of the Great Recession who had moved back into their parents' basement. Look, when Donald Trump becomes president of the United States, whether people agree with him or not, he's going to respect all of the people of this country. You know him well, Chris. You know him to be that kind of a man. And that's why every single day I couldn't be more honored to be standing shoulder to shoulder with a man I believe will be the next president of the United States.
Governor Mike Pence, I appreciate you taking the opportunity on New Day, as always.
Thank you, Chris.